The Nutcrackers' War has left the inhabitants of Planet Christmas hopeless and desperate for heroes. Dozens of provinces and villages have been taken over by General Almond and his evil soldiers who aim to rule the planet and capture all the Christmas spirit that's left. But out of nowhere, a new hope has arisen. Our young hero Garrett is on a quest to find Father Christmas, who he believes is the only man that might have the power to dismantle the war completely. Garrett and a leader of the small but mighty Christmasville militia could be the only chance the planet has at returning to its jolly old self. But several questions remain. Where's Father Christmas, and why has he not stopped the war already? Who is Jack Frost, and what dark partnership did he have with General Almond? And what evil lurks behind the drawbridge of Castle Wenceslas? Raphael Sam will once again be the interior artist of this second issue. I, Ryan Hawk, will continue to write the story, and Tom Barton, our great cover artist, will draft the 5-page backup story, The Tragedy of Jack Frost, as well as drawing the variant and main cover of the second issue. BRIC-A-BRAC is back and better than ever. Please help us make this a reality.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the show. There you go, a little bit of BRIC-A-BRAC for you. But before we get into that, let's say hello to all you lovely people who are here in the Bogan Discord. First cab off the rank, Skip Edwards says, how are we going? We're going just well today. It is such a better day today. There's coolness in the air. There's rain on the tin roof. It's not the sweat lodge today. It is. It's back to being the cottage. So I'm more comfortable, and hopefully you guys are too. We got Mo Biggs here. Hockey. What was Mo saying? If Bancroft had any marketing sense, he would spin his unfortunate living circumstances as intentionally working up a VB thirst and try and replace his lost Foster sponsorship. All right, Mo. All right. Calm down there. Black Rose Comics is here. We got Felix Haas in the chat. How you going, Felix? Great to see you here. We got Lord Nemesis, Hockey. Where else? Who else is here? Oh, Greg's here. Gun Demon. He says, what up, Simps? We have no Simps here. Mike's always taking shit from someone. He's like, Roger. I am, aren't I? I'm like, hey, I get no respect here. No regard either. Who else is here? Who else? Jim Cox, great to see you here. He says, my people entertain me while I shop for groceries. Well, we'll try. I mean, no promises. No promises. 1 minute till I'm supposed to start. Did we start on time? I think we did. I'm pretty sure we did. Rick Saylor, he's saying, Hal Felix. We got Michael T here. High Desert Comics now. He's taken out his last name. Now he's High Desert Comics. Well, welcome, my friend. And, oh, Joey's here. Says, g'day, mates. And Randy. Hal Bancroft. Hal right back at you. And who are we joined by today? Well, there's the man of the hour, the man in question, Ryan. How you going, buddy?
Hello. Very, very good. Very good.
Now, remind me how I pronounce your last name.
It's actually pronounced hawk, so like the bird.
Hawk.
The bird. Right.
Ah, damn it.
Exactly.
Because you know, I said in the title of the thing, Ryan Hack. I said Hack is back with
Right.
BRIC-A-BRAC, and then I said I should have said it coming in for another crack at the
Yes.
at the funding, but I missed that. But it's all right. It should have been Hawk all along.
Right.
And,
Exactly. No, it's okay.
Got it wrong. That's all right. Hey, we're also joined by the one, the only, Albino Thunderbuns. Hello. Oh my goodness, what is he saying today? Mo, better than me? And I'm better than you? Okay, who is everyone better than? We missed the start. Mel. Mel is better than Mo, who's better than me, who's better than Joe. Well, at least you put yourself last. That's very humble of you, Joe. I like your bow tie too.
Yeah, I wanted to spiff it up tonight since we're talking about BRIC-A-BRAC #2, and #1 was very colorful, very cool artwork. And
Mel approves of your hat, by the way.
As long as the boss approves, I'm happy.
Mo is happy with the first half, but Joe is clearly better than Bancroft. Here we go, Craig. It's I'm like the Rodney Dangerfield of CG. It's just like, how do I get a little respect up in this place, huh? Maybe Poland can tell me. Poland, how do I get more respect? How do you get so much respect?
I got way too much respect today. That's all I know.
You did, didn't you? We were just hanging out on How to Draw Comics again. They're doing another drawing stream. Don't anyone go over there. I mean, they've literally been talking about PlayStation for like 2 hours.
PlayStation and tentacles and...
At the very least, you can watch Corey draw, which is actually a pleasure to watch.
He's quite masterful.
I'm just going to keep complimenting the guy, and he's going to keep insulting me, and it's all going to come out in the wash. And he said to me, how did you get all those backers for the Lucent? And I said, Corey, be affable. Make people like you, be a likable guy. Don't just go around ragging on everyone. Especially if you're a talented artist and you go around ragging on other artists. I don't know, Corey. I don't know if it's the winning strategy. What do you reckon, Joe? Is that
I would say probably not.
Yeah. Greg says, at least they're not talking about flat Earth. Oh, they'll be back onto it, I'm sure. I mean, they can't help themselves.
Where can I carry him so far, Michael?
Where do you stand on the flat Earth question, Ryan?
No comments.
He doesn't want to divide his audience.
Yes. No
This
comments.
guy is like Ryan is like Ryan. I described you that some people wanted to know about you. They said, "Who's going to be on your show today?" I was saying, man, this guy here, he's plucky. He doesn't give up.
Yes.
He's going to get his book funded come hell or high water. And that's what I said. That's what I like about Ryan. He gets knocked down. It's like that scene from Rocky,
Yeah.
It ain't about how hard you can hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. We're going to talk about that as we take a look at your book. Steve, look, here we go, Steve. I just woke up from falling asleep watching that drawing stream. Oh, my God. Rob, every now and then, will try and go in there to perk them up and get them going again. But, yeah, without Clayton, I mean, hard to get the fire started. We're also joined by Blue. Hello,
Yeah,
Blue.
there was plenty of fire in there, just not the type people wanted.
Yeah, did Blue, Joe, did either of you catch any of that stream?
No, I
This one from
have a
today?
life. I was sleeping.
I have a life. I was sleeping.
Either of you guys familiar with a guy called Badger?
Yes.
I think so. Maybe.
Yeah, Badger is a gentleman who prefers the company of other gentlemen. And he was quite stricken by our boy here, Poland. He was enamored, I would say. And although Poland made it perfectly clear that he's not of that persuasion, Badger was just he didn't mind telling him. And we got Poland blushing again. He was that color on the stream.
Was this earlier today
This was earlier today, yeah.
on How to Draw Comics?
Yeah, and when I let slip that Poland doesn't have a girlfriend, that only made Badger even more enthusiastic.
Well, I will
About the
definitely be watching the replay.
Albino says, "Shout out to my Donut Earth brethren." Yeah, the Donut Earth doesn't offend anyone. Thankfully, you can say you're for the Donut Earth. It's fine. It's totally fine.
Have you guys ever heard alien abductees argue against flat earthers?
No,
No.
that sounds like a thing, though.
Yeah, we got to do a skit of that. But anyway, Donut Earth, hello, brethren. Ryan, good to see you.
You too.
Ryan, I know
Yeah.
Ryan came on this show about 2 or 3 months ago. Man, the show has the memes. The show has evolved so much since then. He's sitting here thinking, "What have I gotten back into?" Don't you worry, Ryan. It's all fine. We are gonna get back to your book. But before we do that, actually, I've been meaning to show this on stream for like a week now. Victoria drew this for me. Victoria's my daughter, Ryan. She's 8 years old.
Mhm.
She drew this for me. She calls it the CG logo. Is it going to focus?
Nice.
Let's try and get that to focus. I don't know if
That's
it's going
cool.
to.
Cool.
Autofocus, do your job. So yeah, it's not going to focus, but we got. Oh, there we go.
There you go.
No, it happened for a second. I can't move.
So it's got your big hat on it, and what's the other?
It's got the hat on it. It's got. I think that's a stream. With all the people in it.
Mm-hmm.
Dollar
and then
signs.
It's got dollar signs for all the dollar bills, and then that down the bottom there says, "Hail and well met." On that side there, and she's an artist, so she signed it as well.
That is excellent, Victoria. I love it.
So there you go. If anyone wants a CG logo, grab that.
Scan that and post it. We need that.
It's got everything in there. Well, what more could you ask for?
Takes after
Rick
her
says, Leroy seems to have a crush on you, Michael. He sure does talk a lot of shit. Well, Leroy's Leroy. We love Leroy. He's just a fun guy to be around, whether or not he's talking shit. Jason says it's perfect. So I don't know if Victoria's out of school yet, so I don't know if she would have heard that, but she can catch the replay. Put it on a hat, says Steve Wester. Better than putting Feral Bogan on a hat. Do you know we said that to Corey because Corey wasn't there yesterday. We said the loser has to wear a hat that says Feral Bogan, and he was like, "I'm not doing that."
Oh, that's got to be the thing then.
Well, now he's saying who's going to buy the hat, who's going to design the hat, where are we getting it from? All these logistic questions. He's trying to back out.
All of that is easy to take care of.
I'm in a challenge, Ryan, with Corey Barton of Kozor.
Okay.
We're going to do a coloring challenge. We're going to get the same piece of art that neither of us did. We're going to color it on a couple of streams, over a couple of streams, and the loser, has to wear a hat on it that says Feral Bogan, which translates into like filthy redneck, I guess.
Okay.
In Australian, and he's apparently not on board with that, which I think means we definitely need to do it.
Yeah, it's got to happen.
Pretty demoralizing.
He's this is the thing about Corey. I will say it again and again. He is in my top 5 of artists in CG, but man, he's got to learn how to play the game, the stream game. If he wants to
learn some dynamic poses, Michael.
What was that, Poland?
He's got to learn some dynamic posing as well.
Oh, shots fired. A bit more gesture in his poses, a bit more expression in his faces, perhaps.
Yeah, the print, with the stare off. I don't know. I don't know if Rob was impressed with that.
Yeah, he's doing anyone who doesn't know, he's doing a crossover between Kozor and Replicator. And Rob was like, I don't know, maybe like a fighting pose. You could have these two characters fighting with each other. So Corey said, oh yeah, maybe. And then proceeded to draw them just sort of standing there looking at each other. I mean, as far as standing around looking at each other goes, it's incredible.
It's phenomenal. Yeah.
But it is, maybe a bit more action. I don't know. I feel like I'm free to call him out now because it seems to be like a daily thing. He's just crapping all over my artwork. So
I mean, Michael, I think it's only fair. Mr. Michael Flat Bancroft.
I think so. Hey, Phil's here too. How you going? What's up? Well, we are just catching up on some current events, and we're going to be delving into the relaunch of BRIC-A-BRAC. Before we get into that, tell us what happened, Ryan. You had a campaign. What was that? 2 or 3 months ago. What happened?
Yeah.
There?
And I mean, we extended and we failed. And then we had a high goal. So it was at like 9,000-ish. And it was just too high. And the same can be said for the Kickstarter. The goal was just too high. It's and sometimes I don't care about if I fail a campaign. It sucks. But it is a learning experience. I mean, it doesn't hurt me emotionally. I don't think it should hurt anyone emotionally. And I think the best advice to anyone starting crowdfunding is that it's an experiment first. And you're not going to get in trouble for experimenting. You're not going to get put in jail. You're not going to get, thrown away for experimenting. You should do it. And so with this one, it's gone well. I've made the most I've ever made on a launch day. Today is still the launch day. And so, like almost at 20%. So that's amazing. And so I hope we make it this time. The goal is a little smaller, but we just compromised on some pages that will be in the next issue. And that pretty much just changed some of the perks. We were going to do shirts and stuff that was a little more complex and it would cost more. So now the tiers are very simple. But basically the same campaign as the last time. And so that's pretty much what we're doing this time. And I believe we can succeed.
How many backers did you end up getting on the first Indiegogo campaign?
Around
before
70.
You closed it down?
Around 70.
Oh, that's great. You're already at 32 on the first day.
Yeah, exactly. And it's kind of like a mailing list of people, those, all the failed campaigns, it sucks that I failed, but they are mailing lists now. Are there, you can go and talk to those people. And I just, I get that a lot of people have told me that it's a little crazy that you're trying this again, but it might be true that it could just be that Christmas books don't sell or Christmas books don't get people excited. People don't want to back them. But I just really want to fight for it. I really want to fight for this project. I believe in it. And honestly, we left on a cliffhanger. I can't just leave it there. You can't do that to people. And especially, I think the art team is ready. A lot of the book is done already. I can't just leave it, for a year. I can't do that. Yeah. So I wanted to relaunch and I think we can make it this time.
Yeah. That's, what you said really hit me there. You sound like it's not like, don't get emotional about it. Don't take it personally. Because this is not the fact that you didn't fund. I don't think it has anything to do with the quality of the book or the story that you're telling or anything like that. All that is there on this book. I believe, Joe, you and Blue too have actually read the first one.
Yeah, I've got the first one on my shelf. It's great. And was really looking forward to the second. So I'm definitely backing it. And hopefully with the second go around, it'll get funded and we'll have a great number 2 to finish out the story.
Yeah. Well, technically it will not finish the story. There is going to be a number 3. There will be a number 3. So we're going to make a number 3 as well. So it's the bridge between them. It'll be the bridge
right on
between both issues. And I wanted a 3 because I want to make a trade paperback eventually. I would love for that to happen. And so and also adding more pages to the story. I want it to be at least 80 pages altogether. And then with the backup stories as well. So we have a backup story with this issue, hopefully 2. I want to have 2 as a stretch goal.
Cool.
So there will be a third one. But
that's good. I loved the first one. I thought it was great. I don't mind there being the Elfpire Strikes Back and then a third, although I think the elves are the good guys in this one, so we shouldn't call it that. But...
They are good. Yep.
That would be a good title, though. I like that. The Elfpire Strikes.
Yes, that would be awesome. I want to know what that book is about.
Yeah, so this is kind of what I was getting to there. That we can see it's not got to do with art or anything. Obviously different people have different interests and stuff, and that's fine. But it's a question that comes up a bit. Like, what do you do when you don't fund? When you don't make it, what do you do? And I think what you're doing is exactly what you should be doing. You dust yourself off. You maybe take a look at what you can change. You said you've taken out some pages, you've made some compromises, you've gotten that funding goal down, and you go at it again because what's a big thing? What's a big thing in crowdfunding is trust. And people want to know, like, if I put my money into this and invest, am I going to get anything out of this? And then it's if you've got someone out there saying, look, I'm getting this done no matter what, that engenders a lot of trust. I feel like I want to see people not giving. If people just gave up on it, then I would think, so they really weren't in it because they wanted to tell their story, or they wanted to put out their really good product. They were just looking for a quick buck and it didn't happen, so now they're out of here.
Right.
That's not what you're doing.
Right. And I would say, I think people also, and I've had to kill campaigns. I killed the Kickstarter right in the middle of it. but there's nothing bad about killing a campaign as long as you're working towards making it fun. And so that's what I'm doing here. Like, I think that people get really emotional about failing or killing a campaign because it's like you're kind of killing something you put so much effort into. But I think that you have backers who are with you, who are watching, and you have people who are watching, friends who are watching, and they all see that you're fighting for it. And I think, I don't know, I just think that is what eventually gets people to trust you and back you. And if you, I don't know, I've had people this last go around who I would never have known even saw my post on Facebook or whatever, talk to me and say, hey, I saw your book, I'm going to back it. So it's just like, you never know who's watching. And who's watching you go through it. And that's with any discipline, with music, with anything. You never know. There's people who are watching what you do. They might not comment or like your thing that you post, but people watch and they see what you're doing. And so I think that, it's just that motivates me to keep going. I think a lot of people wanted me to get this book finished, and that motivates me too. I want to get the book finished, frankly. So, yeah.
Yeah, obviously. Zaid, $2. Thank you so much, Phil. He says the lost pages came in. Fulfillment starts today. That is very exciting news. I can't wait to start seeing that popping into people's hands because then I know I'm going to be next. Usually I do have to wait an extra couple of weeks, but the wait will be well worth it. That's amazing news. Congratulations to the Zaid boys. Rick Saylor says, actually, the book looks solid. I think you just needed more time to spread the word and get known, which is followed up by Scotty Richard, who says, I haven't heard of BRIC-A-BRAC before today. And that's kind of a point that I guess I should be bringing up, Ryan. We didn't really see you around much on the streams or anything. Are you going to be trying to get onto more streams this time around?
Yeah, I honestly, with the last campaign, I was kind of experimenting with just on Kickstarter, just going on mailing, like emailing every single backer I had before, and then going on Twitter a lot. And I saw on my analytics on my previous campaigns that Twitter is where I've been getting a lot of traction, and it does work. But I think if I can use them all in tandem, use every single backer I've ever had, and get on as many streams as I possibly can, and then have Twitter as well, it will just work the best. And I don't know. It's just a process. I still don't know a lot about crowdfunding. It's a journey. Like, I'm just now getting a label printer. I don't really know a lot about this, and I've kind of had to learn along the way. So honestly, doing these campaigns and just experimenting, although it sucks and you kind of get your hopes up and sometimes they fall apart, it's necessary, I feel like, to really learn and navigate crowdfunding, because it's very hard and it's not a science. It's really difficult, and it will take a pound of flesh, I think. Crowdfunding itself, it's it takes away creativity sometimes. You check constantly how you're funding. It's a very difficult process. So I want to know as much as I can about it. I want to that's why I experiment. I'm not afraid to. So
Antoine says, I think this project needs to seek interest outside of the community. It does have an audience, but you have to be nimble. Well, I think Ryan is open to anyone. That's what I've seen from him. It's just a matter of, like I said, look, we found, a lot of us have found that the getting your face out there, exactly like what you're doing here, people can hear your voice, they can see your enthusiasm. It just works so much better than posts and stuff on Twitter. But it is an issue of, you've got to ask people, they've got to say yes, getting time and everything. I understand it's a lot of work. Rick Saylor wants to know if it's on Kickstarter and Indiegogo or just Indiegogo.
Just Indiegogo, yeah.
Just Indiegogo now, yeah. So it was previously on Kickstarter, that didn't work out.
Well, because I think Kickstarter, it has a bigger audience. Kickstarter is what I like to call an audience generator. Like, it will basically, it's like a audience calculator. Like, it will get people to your project, and there's more people backing on Kickstarter. But I found that there's more recurring backers on Indiegogo, which is really interesting. And I think there's the two platforms are very different. So I think Kickstarter is more crowded too, especially towards the end of the year. I think in October there was the most projects on Kickstarter during 2020. So also it's just it's more crowded. There's a lot more noise. So I don't know.
Yeah, if you don't have, I mean, it's hard either way. If you don't have an audience yourself that you can promote directly to, it's incredibly difficult. But yeah, it is interesting to hear the differences that people are finding between the two platforms. Antoine's question is this book complete?
No, the second book is not complete. The first one is, but the second book is about 30 to 35% complete.
Right.
So, it's not completely finished, but it's significantly finished. The backup story is complete. A lot of the pages interior are completed. And so, yeah, we just are basically waiting on more money to get more pages done, basically.
So it's mostly coloring that we're waiting for.
No, it's pencils and coloring and everything like that, but it's just we're just waiting on money to complete that other art because Raphael does all of the coloring and the pencils and all of that. He's a mastermind, so it's just that we're basically just waiting for that.
Okay.
And like we said, it's not like this is your first book. You've done this before. So yeah, if you do get the whole goal, then we can be trusted that you're going to get the book to us.
Definitely.
Now, here's a question that I don't know if this is going to be possible because it's already November.
Right.
I guess it's probably not going to be available in time for Christmas.
No, but there are several things that will be sent to you in December when we succeed the campaign, if we succeed the campaign. So firstly, every backer will get the digital version of the first book. And I've made it so the tiers kind of work that out so that you would get it anyway. So yeah, they get the digital version of BRIC-A-BRAC #1 with all of that. And then basically what else is going to happen is that there's a backup story that I said is complete. So they'll be able to read that also by Christmas. And then whatever we have completed of the book, which would, probably be 30 pages they would be able to read all together from BRIC-A-BRAC 1 and the new stuff about 35 pages. So if you have not experienced BRIC-A-BRAC before, it would be totally awesome. But again, the book #2 will not be completed by Christmas. We won't even get the funds probably by Christmas if we end on the 10th. That's what I was thinking. So no, it won't be possible, unfortunately. But again, we tried to do that. We tried to launch in September and in August rather, and get that completed. I wanted to have the book to people by Christmas, but unfortunately, sometimes stuff just doesn't work like that, and so.
Yeah, an added problem. I mean, anytime, if you've ever listened to stories about getting Christmas movies made, that's always a massive nightmare behind the scenes, and they have to, make massive compromises and cut corners to get the release dates ready and everything like that.
Yeah. Timely thing. It's tough. It can be tough.
Why were you so crazy to want to write a Christmas story? That's what I'm.
Yeah. I don't know. I
do love Christmas stories. I say that we're massive on the Christmas movies here. We've got heaps of Christmas books. So the kids want to read Christmas stories the whole year round. And I try and say, look, I know you love them, but they'll be more special if you only read them around Christmas. But they don't seem to care. They just
awesome.
want them.
That's good, though. That means they're good stories, not just for Christmas. Because there's a lot of crap during Christmas. Like, there's some specials that I feel like I would never watch any other time.
The Star Wars holiday special. You're not a big fan?
No, definitely not.
What did you think of Klaus? Did you catch Klaus?
I actually haven't yet. No, I mean, I've read the Grant Morrison book, but I don't think it's even based on that book.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I heard it's a bit different, but. I liked the movie. I thought it was really interesting. I thought it was a good story.
Did you read the Grant Morrison or the Grant Morrison? That thing.
No, I only heard about that the other day when we were talking about it, that it even existed. So.
It has amazing artwork. Dan Mora is a crazy good.
I didn't get to read the original series, but I read one of the thicker ones that came later, the standalones. They are insane stories, but the artwork's great.
Yeah, Dan Mora is amazing. Yeah.
That's now. What's his name? Who's our main antagonist here? I forgot. Mo. Mo was mentioning the Santa Claus earlier. My dad loved the film with the Jack Frost character in it, but your Jack Frost is completely different, and he's totally
Yes.
frightening because he's snow that can kill me like easily. So
Yes. Yeah. He's kind of a yeah.
tell us about this.
Yeah. So yeah, Bric-A-Brac 2 is basically, if Bric-A-Brac 1 was them setting out on a journey, this is really them going out and going on that journey. And they meet a lot of characters, Jack Frost being one of them. And he is a little bit of a tragic character because he accidentally got into the involvement of starting the war. He thought he was doing something for the betterment of the planet, but he was tricked, and he actually ended up starting this whole war on Planet Christmas with the Nutcrackers. And obviously the Nutcrackers wanted to start the war. He didn't really know about that. And there's that drama. And so he has a story called The Tragedy of Jack Frost because he, did this thing and he's ashamed of it. And so that is his own thing. And he comes into the story and our characters meet him and he helps them. And the other thing in the story is that, we kind of find out where Father Christmas went, who Father Christmas was. We find out that Garrett's perception of Father Christmas being this jolly person is not really who he was. He actually was a monster hunter. He defeated a lot of creatures that were, whether it be a Christmas Cthulhu who was attacking an underwater city or a candy monster. This is what Father Christmas took these creatures down, and we'll get to see these battles happening in this issue too. And then, we're just going to find out a lot more about some of the characters in this book, and also more about our main characters, Garrett and Marie. There's a lot more complicated character moments with them, and they butt heads a lot in this issue. So it's just all around developing the characters more. It's about characters. This is what an issue 2 is really about. And again, I've said it before, but the characters will be at their lowest point at the end. So again, if issue
so
one
it is Elfire
it
Strikes
is.
Back.
It is. Yes. Yeah, for sure.
Also, your badass Santa there. It's really cool that unlike the Star Wars prequel films where they refer to other stories that happened that we never get to see, you're telling us we actually get to see stories happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's one of the great things about, I would love to have a backup story. Hopefully with the stretch goal, I would love to do it. Or honestly, if I have extra money, I'll do it because I have a great friend who has agreed to do it. We'll have like a 2-page story where we see Santa take on something, some crazy monster, just to give, of a tale that, of how great of a monster hunter he was and stuff of that nature. But it's just, he's the greatest warrior in all of Planet Christmas. And this is the reason why the Marie, the older character, wants to find him. And it's, he could totally, but the problem is that Father Christmas has lost his Christmas spirit, his power. No one believes really in him anymore because they're too busy fighting. And so that's why he, and so there's this whole issue there. There's this whole drama that issue 2 really puts in the forefront. We're just going to see a lot of characters interacting, and it's about characters. I think people complained with the first issue that it was really just movement, constant movement, but this is about real characters interacting and disagreeing with each other and just putting their opinions out. It's really cool. I really love issue 2. I think people will dig it.
Scotty Richards is asking about the target demographic here. Oh, is anyone else getting an echo? Is that me? Oh, sorry. So this is, how would you describe this? Is it a kids book, an all ages story?
All ages. It would be an all ages. I would say it's not necessarily a kids book. It's definitely more like a Pixar or DreamWorks kind of thing, because there are serious topics dealt with. There's a war going on, and it's not a children's book at all, but it is definitely an all ages book.
I don't know. Even with the war going on, I think kids down to age 8, could handle.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh, yeah, and maybe even 6 or 5, or it's just. But yeah, I think that it could definitely be enjoyed by all people, and the demographic really is we're trying to go for like the classic Rankin Bass movie feel, for like the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer feel, or that kind of tone, but just in an intergalactic setting, basically, or The Year Without a Santa Claus, that kind of tone. But again, with a kind of Star Wars mix. That's kind of what this whole story is about.
Mm-hmm. Now,
I noticed the Santa you had there was incorrect because he had sleeves on. Santa doesn't have sleeves. He has to show off his guns.
Yes.
Now, what's I can't remember the name. Sorry, guys, my mind is kind of racing. The guy who just made a comment that we read, he also mentioned Facebook. Are you doing both Twitter and Facebook to try and reach a better demographic, or what?
Am I using Facebook? Yeah, I'm on Facebook, and I post pretty much exactly what I post on Twitter, and I am also on Instagram. But I find that Instagram is not really good for selling comic books. Ironically, I mean, it's just not really that great. I mean, I have a lot of friends on there who like stuff and stuff like that, but it's really hard to get to links and stuff. You have to have like link trees, and it's just not that great of a place to push your book. But I would say Facebook and Twitter, at least according to my analytics, are where most people are, or YouTube. Sometimes LinkedIn is actually good as well, because if you're friends with people who you're friends with professionally and say, hey, I have this thing I'm doing, maybe you might want to contribute. They could possibly want to, but yeah, I would say Facebook and Twitter and YouTube have been my biggest draws in my campaigns.
Mo Biggs has an important question here about how's your MySpace footprint looking these days?
I've never had a MySpace.
Ryan doesn't even know what MySpace is. I didn't think he was around when MySpace was going. Yeah, what's the difference? What do you reckon's better, like in terms of promoting the comics, Facebook or Twitter? Because I'm not even on Facebook anymore.
It's Twitter. And Twitter is number one because they're retweeting, and then I think it's they're retweeting, and then I would say Facebook. That's where your mom is, your friend, your grandma is, and those people will definitely your relatives who are interested in what your books are. Those things, that's great. But I feel like, I feel like people have a lot of friends on Facebook that they don't know or who aren't interested in their comic books. They're just, someone you knew in high school. Why would they? Yeah. But on the other side, on Twitter, I think if you're in more of a small group where you're following people who share your interests, whether that be political or for entertainment purposes or whatnot. And so I think that just the nature of the platform offers that. I think that it's just a better place to kind of advertise, I would say.
Now, is this Jack Frost here?
Yes, that is Jack Frost, but he does switch. So the tragedy of Jack Frost is basically he's used to be an elf and he turns into this ice Goliath. And I don't really want to give that away, but he becomes this creature, and that's kind of the tragedy of him, and why he's one of the main focuses of this second issue.
Tell us a little bit about this round table that you've got here with Sleeveless Santa, with the guns. What are we looking at here?
Yeah, so this is actually in the backstory as well, and this is really the origin of the war on Planet Christmas. So one night, I'll just kind of give you a little bit of the story. So one night, Jack Frost, who's just this elf nymph creature who plays the flute for his animal friends, everything is happy on Planet Christmas until an airship crashes down, supposedly on accident, but it isn't on accident. We find out later. And there is a warlord. They don't know he's a warlord, but there is a guy named Caesar Demetrius on this ship, and he crash lands, and Jack Frost is like, I'm going to help you. He takes him to the North Pole, and that's where we have this dinner scene here where we have Father Christmas, our alien visitor, and Jack Frost. And then at this point in time, the Nutcrackers are working for Saint Nick, so for Father Christmas, because everything's happy. Everyone's, everything is great on Planet Christmas at this point. But Caesar Demetrius is about to muck everything up. He basically strikes a deal with Jack Frost and General Almond. He's like, I will give you my weapons. There is an evil alien entity coming. He's going to come to this planet, and you guys need to be prepared to fight them. I'll give you my weapons in trade for the Christmas spirit, the resource underneath Planet Christmas. And this resource manifests in, when people celebrate Christmas and stuff. It's kind of like the Force. And so he wants to take it, and it will power his ship. And so that's basically the overall plot. It's a little complicated, but it's really the origin of the war. It's kind of like a trade dispute, basically. And
Is that Caesar there? Down in the corner?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah. And so he's from a place called New Rome. It's just like a kind of an intergalactic Rome. And he has a machine called the Solstice Eater that really he's using the Christmas spirit to power. And so he's really the real bad guy, the puppeteer. And he manipulates the Nutcrackers to do his bidding, basically. And so, yeah, this is the origin of the war here that we're looking at.
Those simple-minded Nutcrackers.
Yes, until their leader basically tells them, "Hey, we're gonna take over the planet," which they've always really been waiting to do, and now they have the opportunity with these great weapons, and so they do it. Yep.
You get a lot of good opportunities for some nice glowing rim lighting there on the characters, which I always love. With the lights there, that's very cool. Who are your artists?
So this is Tom Barton. Tom Barton is he's not the interior artist. This is again the backup story. This is Tom Barton, and he did the covers for all the issues. Every single book he's done the cover for. He did the Jack Frost cover as well, and so he's doing that backup story. And his art is very complimentary to the person who did this page, Raphael. And you can kind of notice the slight differences.
Yeah, I'm noticing now that you mention it, but earlier I didn't, so that's good.
Yeah, the slight differences. Yeah, so this is Raphael again, and this is a draw between General Almond, the main Nutcracker, and Jack Frost because they're mad at each other because, they're at odds with each other because Jack Frost has had a change of heart. And then again, but the artists are just amazing. Both of them, Tom and Raphael, are top tier artists. I'm so lucky to have been able to collaborate with them. And it's kind of a dream, just to be able to work with these amazing artists.
Cool. Speaking of art and different artists, we had a comment from Jason earlier, Unhinged Entertainment, and he's making comments like he's interested in submitting to you for, I don't know, Twitter posts, probably, any Mrs. Claus fan art.
There is a Mrs. Claus in the first issue. So I mean, if that person wants to send me a tweet, I could send them the image, and if they want to make a fan art, I will put it in the campaign.
I think he was thinking of young Mrs. Claus fan art.
If it's like cheesecake,
might not be,
I don't know if I want to put it in.
It might not fit in with the all ages theme we've got going here.
Yes.
But get in touch with Jason. He's a very nice guy, very friendly. See what you can work out together.
I love fan art. It's amazing. Some of the fan art for this book is just so cool. I love how people are so excited to draw these characters.
So a lot of people have been mentioning about how affordable it is. Let's have a look at these tiers and see what you've got going here.
Yes.
So the BRIC-A-BRAC physical bundle for 24.
So we switched the tiers a little bit around. Me and Blue were kind of talking about this a little bit, just kind of changing the shipping because the shipping was too expensive, and I do think that was one of the reasons why I didn't get as many backers, honestly. I mean, the goal being too high was a big thing, but also because I think if your goal is too high and your backers know you're not going to achieve it, they're not going to be, pushing for you. I don't want to make it sound like that because I know they would still push for you if they believed in the project, but the momentum won't be as strong. But anyway, the shipping is $5 for everything in the US. And it was like $10 before, which is way too much. That's too much. And so, yes, with this, you get BRIC-A-BRAC 1 and 2 digital and physical, the bookmark, and the Jack Frost print for $24. Yeah, so this is kind of a cool one that if you haven't gotten the series before, you'll like it. If you want a variant cover of the first issue with Father Christmas, you will also like this one because these are not the original printing of number one. It's not going to be the original cover. It will have a variant.
Nice.
And how many pages in each issue?
So both books are going to be about 30 pages. Yeah, including
So a
25.
little bit more than normal.
Yeah, just a little
that's
bit more.
cool.
Though. Yeah.
So that's like you get 60 pages of story all up, which is that's a very good price, plus the extra little bonuses.
Yep. I really like to include the bookmarks, not only because I like them and use them, but I think they're really cool. And the art prints are fun too because you can kind of put them on your wall, or I don't know. I love it.
Yeah, I've always said, like, I don't use bookmarks. I don't know about complaining about the bookmarks. I should have done something else. But then they do look really cool when you get them. I got one for She, and it was really nice.
Oh, yeah.
Even if I don't use it, I'm like, this is pretty cool. Okay.
Yeah,
Something
I was going
about
to do
that format,
shirts.
I don't know what
I
it
was
is.
going to do shirts, and I want to do shirts. And if people want their own shirts and want to pay me $30 to make a shirt, I will do that for you and send it to you. But at the moment, I just don't think it's tough making a shirt tier because you end up kind of eating, like you kind of end up losing money a little bit. And I don't know. Maybe I will eventually make a shirt tier because I'm going to make some for myself. I know I'm going to gift some for my family and stuff and force them to wear them. But
Yeah, as long as it's not taking away from what you're trying to do with getting the book funded.
Right. I feel like
there's
it takes
there's
away.
no problem with like just focusing on getting this main thing
I
done.
want to make it stupid simple. Like if a grandma could look at the campaign, she would kind of figure out how to back it because my grandma will be trying to back it and often struggles trying to back my campaign. So I just wanted to make it stupid simple.
Fair enough. So you've got a $8 digital version,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
and then you've got the $12 for this is just the single issue number 2.
Yep, and with the print and the bookmark. Yep.
And with print and bookmark.
And
is that print the same size as the comic or?
The print is it's gonna be here. I have the print from last year with me.
Hang on, I click things too much.
The print from last year is gonna be basically this size. So here, let me get the comic book. So it's like
It's close.
It's close.
It's nice.
Yeah, I like these.
It's like A5 size here in Australia.
Yeah.
Um,
The books are 7 by 10. They're not exactly comic book size, like American Standard.
Yeah.
It's 7. I think American Standard is 7 and 10.5. This is 7. 10, I don't know, something like that. Anyway,
It's fairly fuller, but like half an inch wider.
right, exactly. But it makes a difference because you can't fit them very easily into boards and bags and boards. Sometimes it's hard.
the BRIC-A-BRAC digital bundle, so that'll be the 2 digital books.
Yep.
What's Boys and Girls Club?
Yes, so this is a new tier initiative that we're kind of doing that. So basically you can buy this tier in 4 books. So 2 of issues number 1 and 2 of issue number 2 will be sent to a Boys and Girls Club chapter of your choice. So it's basically for kids. It's just basically, I just wanted to do something that way we could donate to kids in need or kids and a kind of a foundation like that. And so I thought that this would be really cool. And I'm glad that people do too, because I honestly didn't know if someone would back it, but I'm so happy we have 2 already on the first day. So I hope that continues because, this is what I feel like that's kind of what Christmas is about, just being able to do that. So
Very nice, very cool. Scotty Richards says, "Here's an idea for you. Will it be wrapped in Christmas wrapping paper?"
I think I will. I might do that this year. I think I would love.
That's
I
a
think I
cool
might do
idea.
it because if I'm sending them after Christmas, all the wrapping will be on sale. It's like
Hey,
could do
there you
that.
go. It wouldn't cost much.
no, I wouldn't.
You know what they sell that I kind of expect from you, and I will not be offended. They sell black coal pattern wrapping paper.
Okay,
Okay,
Black coal pattern, right?
that would be
okay.
awesome. I
Something
would
more
love to.
Christmassy.
Maybe I would love to make wrapping paper. I wonder if you can make custom wrapping paper. That would be such a cool tier to have your own custom like bric-a-brac wrapping paper. I don't know, maybe.
7 of 9 said the create a character tier looks cool. Why don't you tell us about that one?
Yeah, so last time we had a create a character tier where people would very simply create their own character for the book, and it would be in the, being it a war book, obviously there's very many different factions and opportunities to put characters in. And I figured since it's a crowdfunding book, we need to have that community aspect in it, and very obvious, because I mean, you guys made it happen. I would not have been able to make it happen without that. So yeah, it's just, people get to make their own little characters put in the book, and whether it be, I had last year someone made like a little unicorn that they wanted in the North Pole, or someone had like their dog they wanted to put in the book that was fighting in the army, or a kitten, or it's very cool. I love that because again, it's a fantasy world. There's dragons, there's fighting lobsters and lions. There's crazy things in this world that make really no sense, and I'm never going to really explain why there's dragons. But that's why this is such a cool tier, is because we can just add to that mystery of like this weird fantasy world that seems to have no rules. So yeah.
Did someone create this snowman spider thing, or was that one?
Yeah,
of your inventions?
I did create that one. Yep, I created that one. But that's
You're just giving them a little bit of an imaginative push, like you can do whatever the hell you want here.
Yeah, because and Raphael was like, "This is what I should do with this character," because I had an idea of the spider snowman. I'm like spiders are creepy, but snowmen are adorable. So like, what would that look like? Like, so that's what he came up with.
That's fun.
I'm thinking of a rock candy monster. I'll work on it.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, and very affordable too. $60, very affordable. Usually those sort of things can go, upwards of hundreds of dollars. So that's really cool. Tchaikovsky's Revenge. I don't remember this.
Yeah, so last time this was a perk where, basically you can do all the same stuff, except you get to create a Christmas character this time, so it's upgraded. But you get a sketch from Raphael, basically. And so he will sketch one of the BRIC-A-BRAC characters for you. And and you get all the tiers and stuff like that are offered. And yeah, it's just kind of like the ultimate superfan thing. I mean, I get kind of jealous when I had to send all those away to other people. I really wanted one myself because I would frame it and put it up really nice. But unfortunately, I couldn't get one. But hopefully this time he might make an extra one. I don't know. But
here's a really cool idea. Are you familiar with 6 a.m. comics?
I am. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I would definitely hit him up and ask him if he wants to get involved in creating a little character for maybe a sticker or something like that. Because yeah, Jason's right. His look would go perfectly as a little addition to the campaign. Just an idea.
Yeah, I would like to make ornaments too. I mean, last time I made some crappy ornaments. They were really like not that good. But this, I mean, Shay. I don't know if you know who that is. Shay Zombie.
Yep. We know Shay.
Yeah, and she was saying that I should, use some website, and she would actually design them. So that could be a stretch goal. I would like everyone to have one of those. So, yeah, I mean, hopefully we can get just some stretch goals, because I'd love to unlock some cool stuff like that.
Yeah, it's cool. The 6 a.m. Mark he's a great guy. Everyone loves him. I don't know. I've never heard of a single guy who isn't a fan of him. So that would be cool if that could happen. But hey, we should do a refresh. Let's see if you've gotten a little Bancroft bump here. It's been a while since we did a little Bancroft bump refresh. Just make sure I don't kick myself. Oh, you got a backer? You got a backer? Nice.
Thank you so much. Yes.
Thank you so much to whoever did that. Didn't let me down. Scotty is asking, have you been on Mandy's channel or Tug's? I don't know if Tug is actually promoting comics anymore. I think he got out of that. You know what I'm going to do, Ryan? I actually compiled for another cool guy, Professor Murph, a list of channels that are actively now, doing promotional streams.
Okay.
Because I think everyone here is like impressed with your attitude and what did I call you? Plucky.
Yeah.
Like everyone likes a story of the underdog, and I think everyone likes Christmas stories. And you've got a great looking book here. Your enthusiasm really sells it, but people need to see it.
Right. Yeah, I'm on a couple streams. I'm going on Brian Shearer.
Yep,
And
Brian's
then
cool.
Crowdfunding the Pop XP thing.
Oh, yep.
And yeah, so a bunch of Critical Blast.
I've been in RJ. Yep.
Yeah, a couple other things too. So yeah, I'm gonna try to get as many as possible though. As many as
Antoine
possible.
says, we like your moxie, Ryan.
Thank you.
And Joe says, I'm going to back Thursday. Fantastic. Yeah, I mean, I've already told you I'm getting this one. I'm backing. I just, give me a moment and I will be backing this book. Because, like I said, we do love the Christmas stories here in the Bancroft household.
Thank you.
It's really cool.
I appreciate you guys having me on twice. I really do. It means a lot because I know that, I just appreciate it. Thank you.
If I can think of a monster correctly, and I know not to over design it because he has to fit in your story somehow, even if he's in the background. If I can think of a monster correctly, I'll be upgrading my backing to one of those great guy tiers.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of places we could fit the character in. I can think of there's a scene with elves, all the Santa's elves. I'd love people to make weird elves, or there's a scene where we have in this particular issue where we have I'm trying to think. There's just a lot of instances where we could have some characters like that. A lot of characters in the background. So yeah, it'll be fun. Oh, and then there's a scene where we go to the Nutcracker's headquarters, which is kind of like Mustafar, but Cracker, I guess. And there's lava coming out of stuff, and there's dragons flying everywhere. But that could be another place where we could involve some cool background characters.
We just had a question in the chat there from Antoine asking if you can back and ship to someone else. Yes, you can. Joe, you've been very quiet today.
I have.
You're letting your hat speak for yourself. Your hat says all.
Yeah, no, this is one of those projects I could gush over it. I've got the first one, like I said before. It looked great. Arrived on time, perfect condition. I'm definitely backing the second one, and I'm happy to find out there's going to be 3 of them. So
yes,
that's I'll have. I mean, it's a book that I originally backed on behalf of my kids, but I read through it. I enjoyed it, and so it's one of those books that I can. I'm already planning on having it in our kind of Christmas collection of books that we read every year around Christmas. So I think they're going to be really excited when they find out that there's another one coming.
Awesome.
I'm so happy that people are starting to figure out this all ages game, and to not just tell kids stories, to tell all ages stories that parents and kids can enjoy. We have a TV show here called Bluey. It's Australian. It's one of the best little cartoon shows going, and it's all of us, Mel, me, and the kids, we all look forward to watching it, because if you're a parent, the whole adult portion of the story is all focused on experiences that you as a parent have had raising kids. And at the same time, they're telling a kid story that the kids really get into, and it's just it's the best I've ever seen. This perfect blend of that kind of storytelling. So if you can manage to hit those notes and do that, so have a story that you can read and enjoy, and then you can either read it with your kids or pass it on to them and they can enjoy. It works so well when it's done well.
And I think that again, what we're trying to allude, Rudolph is a kid's story, and I think our book is a little bit more serious than that. We have some characters who are super evil. I think they're the only real foe that Rudolph had was Bumble, and Bumble is kind of just this stupid, abominable snowman. And but I think that we're trying to go for that friendly, but I mean, there's some themes in Rudolph that it's about acceptance and it's deep. It's about like being an outcast, and it's a really deep story. And I think a lot of people resonate with that story. So I hope that people also resonate with this Bric-A-Brac 2, which is deeply about a young kid who is going out into this world that's super dangerous and is trying to hold on to his childhood in this kind of broken world. He's trying to hold on to the only thing he, which is Father Christmas, who he believes is going to save everything. But, as he will find out in this issue, it's not that simple. Father Christmas was not the person he thought he was. So it's just about that, deeply about that. And so I think all those great Pixar movies have that message, a deep message, whatever it might be about. And I think that if you can hit that message successfully, you can make a good all ages story. So I'm hoping we can do that with this one.
Fantastic. Jim says, where is it? This kid doesn't sound like Brooklyn. Are you from Brooklyn, Washington? I mean, I don't know. So I don't know.
No, I'm from Chicago normally, but I'm in Brooklyn now. Yeah, I go to school in New York.
There you go. Questions answered. That's what we like to do in this show. Well, thank you so much, Ryan, for coming back on. Again, a great looking book. We love your moxie. We love your fighting spirit. Everyone around here loves an underdog story. So he's not giving up, guys. So if you like the look of this book, there it is, Bric-A-Brac 2. And there's Ryan HAACK. Is it HAACK?
Yes.
Did I say it right?
Mm-hmm, yes.
Good. HAACK is Bach.
Like a W.
It's not hack is back. It's HAACK is Bach.
Yes.
Thanks again, man. And
No
Joe
problem.
and Blue, thank you as well, as
Thanks,
always.
guys.
Oh, I got told to refresh it again. Did someone back it again? Whoa! 35.
Awesome.
How about that? That's amazing, man.
I think a lot of the
1150 on your first day.
I've never gotten to this point. Yeah. I mean, even on the Kickstarter, we were just at like 25%. So it's crazy how we're already here. So I believe that we're going to do this, man.
I'm just going to say Indiegogo. It's a better site. I'm just saying.
No, I believe it. I mean, Kickstarter, it's tough to, and also the customer service on Kickstarter is not helpful. They're very slow. I don't know. But again, I'm just going to go where the money is. That's the most important thing, I would say. Just go where you're successful. Go where the heat
where the
is.
people are at. Go
Exactly.
where the people are at. Look, like all the crowd in here, we're all Indiegogo people, and we are obviously the best people out there, backing books and doing stuff. Yeah, so
Awesome.
Scotty, look, there you go. Looks professional for sure. It does. It's a great looking book. All right, I'm going to close out the stream there. Thank you guys again, and thank you to the sexiest chat in Comicsgate. You guys are fantastic. You guys have been giving a lot of good questions today. I love that. I mean, it makes my job easier. I'm just going to put that out there. But, you guys are asking the questions that people want to know. And there you go.
I just opened Indiegogo to just comics, so it's not suggested for me. And you are at the top of the trending at this moment.
Awesome.
Can you share that? Can you share that, Blue?
Separate this tab. Yeah, now I can share it. Okay.
All right, here we go. That's a nice... Here we go. Fenrir Fire says, congratulations, 1K on your first day. More than 1K, 1150. And now, bam.
Awesome.
Now, that is the power of Indiegogo, I think, that you wouldn't get on Kickstarter.
Oh, you would never get that.
Anyone who's just, I'm going to go check out what comics do they have, what new comics. I do that every now and then as well, because, some people, there's a lot these days that slip under the radar.
Yeah.
And you can get your comic with 1100 up to, next to Earthworm Jim. How much is that? Like 100,000? That's like you just don't get that kind of exposure anywhere else. That's so cool.
Yeah, dude. I agree, because even Kickstarter, they'll give you the project we love, but even that isn't that big of a boost, if anything, really. I think their interface is kind of screwed up. It used to be a little better because they would break it down by genres, but now, I don't know. I just think Kickstarter is, I don't know, but I do like Indiegogo because, again, it gives you more tools. In demand is a tool that creators deserve. I feel like you should be able to make your own marketplace pretty much with your campaign.
Yeah.
So I think that that's a great thing, in which something I will be doing going in demand.
Well, this is very exciting to see the buzz around this book. I think it's been a long time coming.
Yeah.
So, you know, just, and seriously, man, keep getting out there. Don't feel bad like asking people, you know, hey, can I come on your show and stuff like that. There's a lot of people out there doing it. I will send you my list of all the shows that I know of, and yeah, just, you know, hit them all up.
Got it.
And you know, it'll work out for you. All right, guys, we are going to leave it there. Thank you so much. I got to go back to work. We will see you tomorrow with another fun show and all that good stuff. All right, guys, bye.